I'm Jack,
And I'm Brenden,
and we're coming to you from beyond the terrarium.
where DIY meets naturalistic reptile keeping.
Enjoy. All right, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 13 of Beyond the Terrarium. This is Jack Oliver, joined as always by the glorious bearded Brendan Meyer. Brendan.
Dude, maybe that's why we're in a slump. It's number 13. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, lucky number 13. Lucky number 13. Brendan mentioned it. We're in a slump. This episode was supposed to be the naturalistic series, but Brendan and I have had a time and a half over the past couple of weeks, and we candidly weren't prepared for this episode. So we called an audible here, and we're just going to talk a little bit about burnout and talk about what's going on, talk a little bit about what we got going on in our personal lives and in our collections and stuff like that, and just kind of a chill episode. It'll be a little bit of a shorter one today.
Yeah.
But Brendan, we are closing in on Kakeko eggs hatching. Hopefully,
dude, this is the start of the burnout for me. Like,
I don't think they're
gonna hatch.
I think they're gonna hatch.
We're at 90 days, and they look the exact same as they did. So,
what was the longest somebody said?
I've read. Here's the issue. There's so much conflicting. So I talked to a lady. I wish I could remember her name, but I don't off the top of my head. She hatched them at 85. She hatched them. She hatched them at 85 days at like 73 to 75 degrees. So I was like, cool, 85 days sounds good to me. We're at day 90, and I'm already stressing about them, obviously, because they're the longest ones I've had. But I've read up to like 120 days, but I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it's good information, if it's not good. I'm going to let them go. I'm not going to do nothing with them. I'm just going to let them fucking ride until they don't anymore. They look good. They're plump. They're firm. They're not mushy. They're not moldy. They look great.
I think if they weren't going to hatch, something would be wrong with them by now.
Yeah, I think so. They would have molded or something by now, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I have, which we'll get into this too with the burnout and the stuff, but like my leopard gecko season is basically shit so far. Like I'm getting a lot of infertile eggs and stuff. So I got to revisit. I don't know if like moving them downstairs in that room fucked them up or what happened, but because like nutrition's been pretty on point. Like I'm pretty on top of that kind of thing, but I know that plays a big part in it. See, I don't know what's going on in my rooms, dude, but they're just not doing great, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was gonna say those when they're bad, they mold quick. Like they're bad,
Yeah.
But the Kakeko eggs, they still look fantastic. So I haven't given up full hope, but I'm kind of preparing for the worst, I guess.
Well, I've got high hopes for you because
I appreciate that.
I have the same amount of hope that I had when they were first hatched. I think they're fine. I think it's just going to take some time.
Yeah, man, I think it's just me overstressing, and then like it feels like everything else is crumbling around me. So I'm just like, yeah, these are going to go to shit too. So
yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Well, let's talk about it, man. Like, and I want to clarify too to everyone listening, the podcast is not the reason for the burnout. The podcast is, I think, the main thing that like keeps Brendan and I going. Like we're super excited for this, and that's the reason we wanted to record is because we didn't want to not have an episode and everyone think that we're quitting or
we're definitely not
going downhill. We're definitely not quitting. Brendan and I are fully invested in this. Like this is our thing. We love it. That's why we're doing it tonight. Honestly, like I've been looking forward to it all day. We just weren't prepared for this episode because of everything else that's happening in life, which happens. It happens. And I think we need to not be hard on ourselves with this, because this is what we do for fun, and we definitely want to stick to our schedule, and we're going to stick to our schedule, but it just means we're going to alter the episode today. So, but
yeah.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying, like you said, it's going to be a shorter episode for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're just going to kind of shoot the shit. And because, like, I haven't talked, like, Jack and I normally talk every day, at least a little bit. I haven't talked to Jack in like a week.
Yeah.
It's been that hectic.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
What's going on in life, man? What's going on? And how does that, like, I think, we'll talk about this too, but like, no one talks about necessarily how busy life can be bad for not just your mental health, but like doing the things that improve your mental health, which is the reptiles, for us. So like, what's been going on? Like, how have you been managing it? Stuff like that.
Well, I think like you don't think about it, but like say you follow one of us on Instagram, right? And you see like all the cool stuff we post, but there's like a human being behind that has like everyday issues and, stresses and everything, which I don't think anybody really thinks about that when you're scrolling Instagram, but like, dude, it's just fucking heck. Like I'm 5 weeks out from my first child.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the biggest stressor, obviously, like getting all that, all the preparations and all the baby shit bought and the nursery done and like all that stuff. So like that's coming up quick.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's obviously stressful. So like my routine with the animals is going to change drastically here very soon.
Yeah.
So I have to basically figure out a whole new routine for everything. It's just life, dude. Work and taking care of the animals is fun, but like some days, like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Some days it fucking sucks,
Mm-hmm.
Like I think everybody kind of goes through that, some sort of slump every now and then.
Yeah.
I know I do. I get a good slump about every 2 years, it feels like, where I'm just like, fuck this. I'm selling everything and I'm just gonna live in my hole.
Yeah.
I don't do that, but because it's all just, I don't know. You just got to kind of, ride the wave, I guess. Man.
Yeah, weather the storm. But like for me, and I want to ask you about this, because like for me, it's like I get that way. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go, do animal chores or whatever. Yeah. But then as soon as I start doing it, I love it. It's like but it's just the hump of getting into it. But and that's how I know I'm not overloaded with animals, and like I don't have too much, and it's not about like the load of animals. It's just my actual life that's stressful,
right?
Because as soon as I start doing the reptile things, I love it, and it's like, oh, I wish I could do this longer. It's not necessarily like doing the chores that's the problem. It's like being so burnt out in the rest of your life that you're like, oh god, I gotta go do more things when all I want to do is like be a vegetable on the couch right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had this feeling on Saturday, like,
dude, right
or
there.
Sunday.
So like a little fourth wall break here. We were supposed to record yesterday on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I was just like so slammed with this life shit. I just couldn't make it happen. So
yeah.
And it sucks too, because like my weekends are like the big, it's not like really deep clean all the leopard geckos. Like I deep clean them once a week. And normally it's on Saturday. It's like normally because I have, more leopard geckos than anything. So I like take a full day and just kind of like feed, clean all the babies and everything. And like this Saturday, I couldn't do it on Saturday because I was just so busy. I wasn't even home most of the day. So like when that gets pushed back a day, it just like compounds the whole week because I'm a day behind.
Yeah.
So it's like playing catch up. So I'm going to be playing catch up all week on everything because I missed that one day because I just had life going on,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I feel like I've been playing catch up for weeks now, man. It's like I've had just stuff going on every day. And then when you add in like not just the care for the animals, but then if you're trying to do any projects on top of that, it's just like, where's the time, So
yeah, man.
But yeah, it's like for me, I'm like, work is crazy right now. I've been working crazy hours and just trying to get through work, and which allows me to do what I'm doing. So definitely got to prioritize that. And been working on this pond project, which we touched on a little bit with our episode with Nick. But I've been working on that a lot. I've had weddings to go to. I've had I went to a golf tournament last weekend, which probably wasn't the best idea, but I got to hang out with my dad all day, so that was great. And yeah, it's just like I'm about to be traveling for work the next 2 weeks, and so getting animals prepped for a being away is a lot. Like there's a lot that goes into that. You got to make sure everything is in. Like it's normally I can be like, okay, there's a poop in here, or like didn't feed today. That's okay. I can feed tomorrow. Like it's not a huge deal, but like it's everything had to get done on Sunday. It was like everything had to be done and in tip top shape, and it's a lot to do. And then you add in the podcast on top of that, which again we said is the best thing. But it's not about like us enjoying it. It's about like finding the time to do it. So
there's work that goes into this. You know, like sure the podcast is normally 2 hours long, but it's normally a 3-4 hour process of like starting it, and then not even on top of like editing and like all that stuff. Good on you, dude. Because
the editing part isn't bad. Now I've got a routine for that, and it probably in total of my actual effort takes 20 minutes now, which is great. But uploading it, my upload speed at my house is awful. It's terrible. It's like I tested it, and it's like 2 megabytes per second. Which,
oh my god!
For context, I think it's you normally average for like download speeds like 400 megabytes a second. So it takes literally 4 hours to upload this podcast.
Crazy.
Which is absurd, and it's not really about like it. Like I don't have to be doing anything during those 4 hours. Like I can do it and then be working or doing whatever. But it's like I have to monitor it to make sure that it gets uploaded. So but it's like I love it, and I especially the editing part. Like it's super creative for me, and I love doing that, and so I love finding the time to do it. It's just finding the time to do it is tough. So, but
yeah, it's like the whole other side of it too, of like going in, trying to get good clips to like post on the Instagram, because we're obviously trying to grow the Instagram too, which it's growing pretty decently actually so far. It's doing pretty well, but it's like even finding just the 10 minutes to like go through the episode and like try to find a good clip is like, some days it's just like I'm not doing this today.
And I've been bad about that too. That's just why I added you to have access, because I was like I can't like it. I don't have time. So no, but I definitely want to talk about too, like, and we kind of touched on it, like the overcoming that hump and getting yourself off the couch or wherever you are to go do the things you have to do, because like after I was done with everything yesterday, like I felt incredible. I felt grounded. I felt like I was doing the things that I love to do. And granted, I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done yesterday, but like I got what I needed to done. And that's important, prioritizing is key. And I think learning how to do that and understanding, okay, it's Sunday evening, like I've got a busy week ahead. I would love to get this project done, but like, is that the priority? No, the priority is just basic care of the reptiles, which, I was listening to, I forget which podcast I was listening to. Oh, it was Animals at Home, the most recent one with Beach's Scaly Beast. And I was listening to this on my drive up to the wedding the other day. And they were talking about like optimizing your reptile collection and like downsizing when you need to. And they were talking about like when it feels like a chore, it's too much. And I agree with that, but I think it has to feel like a chore while you're doing it. Because for me, it doesn't feel like a chore while I'm doing it. It's just feeling like a chore to actually go do it. Once I'm doing it, I'm very happy that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like a mental block. It's not necessarily like, hey, I'm overwhelmed with the reptiles. I'm not. Like it in all actuality, it probably takes me 2 hours, like maximum a week, to like do everything I need to do, basic necessity. And so I think if it were to start taking more than that, where I didn't have time for it, then it'd be a problem and I'd be overloaded with animals, but I'm not currently. So
Yeah, I feel like it's like if it feels like a chore every single time you have to do something in your animal room, that's when you need to sit back and be like, okay, there's either too much going on or you're, working with shit that you're not that into, which is another issue because then the animal suffers.
Yeah.
Some, in that scenario, if you're working with something that you hate working with, then you're most likely gonna do less with that animal.
Yeah.
That's just human nature or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm the same way, man. It's like, well, with the leopard geckos, like Christy normally will go down and help me. And by help me, I mean she'll like hold and play with the leopard gecko while I clean its tub or whatever. But like even then, it's like twofold. Like I'm getting the reptile chores done, and I get to spend time with my girlfriend at the same time. So it's like two birds with one stone kind of thing. So like that helps a lot especially when I'm in like a spot where I'm in now, where it's like I don't even want to get up and like go in the room. But as soon as I'm in there, it's like just like instant fire. Love it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to be doing anything else at the time.
Yeah. And that's just tiredness, man. That's all that is.
Yeah, it's just life, man.
Yeah.
It's just life stresses and everything that comes with that.
Yeah. If you're in there and you're dreading it while you're in there, like that's not tiredness, that's burnout. It's when you're in there still happy about it, but it took a second for you to be able to get up and do that. You're just tired, man. And that's where we're at. That is where we're at. We're tired.
And I know that's where I'm at too, because Chrissy's grandparents and her little brother came over Saturday for a little bit. And they came down in the animal room and I was like showing them around and like showing her brother like all the geckos and stuff. And I had a absolute blast, dude. It was so much fun. Like getting the snakes out. Her grandma was playing with one of the snakes and was like all into it and stuff. And then I fed the monkey lizards, those grasshoppers, and they like ran out of my arm and they were wigging out and stuff. So like I still obviously enjoy it so much, but it's just, man, it's just, I keep saying it, but it's just life. It just has me by the balls right now.
Yeah.
And it'll pass. I'll get over it. It's just,
what's
ups
crazy
and downs
is like you were always so impressive to me because for people who don't know, everything you're seeing behind Brenden and his grandfather built with their two hands. And it was like every day Brenden was working on this. And granted, you didn't have a child coming at the time, so that's a little bit different.
Right.
But like,
thank God, dude, I don't know how I would do it now.
But like you were going crazy. You were building all this stuff, and it didn't seem like you were as burnt out then. But it's like it's not as much stress. It's like you probably enjoyed doing that with your grandfather. Like. It was
for sure.
Good bonding time, and like you were building like kind of your dream. And it's like right now, it's just there's more stress because you're probably like nervous about your kid coming and making sure that everything's ready for that. And it's just you started a new job too. And so it's different. It's a different level of stress, and identifying that and accepting it and figuring out how to deal with it's like important to just keep your mental health in line.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but the basement thing was just about a year long from like concept to like where it's at now. And I don't think anybody besides the group knows. It was like I was working second shift at the time. So it was like 8 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday, plus Sunday every week for like 7 months straight to like get this basement done.
Yeah.
But like you said, I was like planning out the new rooms and like all that. So it was fun. It was the stress was like spending the money on it. That was the only stress involved.
Yeah.
But once it was done, it was like so rewarding, and I'm down here all day, obviously. Like the computer's set up down here, all the animals are down here. I got a dope ass TV and a big ass couch and stuff. So it's fun. But it's just, and now it's like when I plan the rooms, it was one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna have so much room for like the next couple of years. Like I should be great. And now it's like they're stuffed plumb full of, and I haven't got anything new really. It's just like the way they're set up now is not optimal.
Yeah,
but I
you're
don't
probably
have.
less animals now.
Yeah, I know, and it's
Yeah.
more space somehow, which I don't know how that happened, but it's like it's not optimal right now, so it takes me longer to do things than it should. But I also on the flip side don't have the time to optimize it right now.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what bothers me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a process. I can't,
It's the prioritization, man. It's like
yeah,
that doesn't have to get done right now, and everything
right.
else does. So it's like that's in the back seat, which is hard
I mean,
because it's probably
everything.
what you think about every time you're down there.
Oh, 100%, dude. Every time I walk down there, I'm like, I need to do this. I need to move this. I need to build because I'm gonna do like the gecko shelves I made. I'm gonna do that in the snake room too for all the cages.
Yeah.
But like everything's on hold until the baby gets here, and then it's gonna be on hold for at least a couple months after. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like she's top priority right now. It's like making sure Christy's like good, comfortable as she can be, being almost 9 months pregnant. You know how that goes, but like making sure all of that's solid. And then right now it's just basic care of the animals. Like that's all I'm worried about is, clean cages, food, water. That's it. Like I'm not worried about anything else. Which it almost is it's not a blessing, but it's like almost a good thing the leopard geckos didn't like blow up this year because, dude, I don't know if I would have had time.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to count the blessings, and like, the good thing too is like you're not relying on an income stream from the leopard geckos. So
that's all fun stuff for me. I don't do this for money.
Because that'd be a whole other level of stress. You'd be like, I need the leopard geckos to hatch, but I don't want them to hatch because I don't have time, but I need them,
Yeah. And I purposely didn't pair mini leopard geckos because I knew the baby would be here.
Yeah.
And the ones, like I said, I don't know if I said it before the recording or on it now, but like the leopard geckos are just shit this year. They're just not doing great, but it's a whole other conversation, I guess. I should still have like 20-ish babies, but I had a lot of eggs crash this year.
Yeah.
A lot of infertiles. So.
Yeah. That is another level of stress. It's like, what happened? How do I fix this for next year? But like, it's something you kind of like write down, recognize, and put off until you're ready for the next season and go into it then and figure it out then. And that's something too, like for me in a similar way, like me and my girlfriend are planning on moving at some point in the next couple of years. So I've kind of adjusted my planning purposes and like what I want to get for projects and like new animals and new projects and stuff like that, because I know that I'm going to be moving, which is hard because it's like, I can't, like you said, optimize because it's like, it's not worth it. And I also can't move forward with or getting new animals, which is sad. I'm going to be at Daytona looking at all these turtles and I can't buy any of them, but like, it's good. And it's like a short-term sacrifice for a long-term benefit, because like in 2 years or whenever we move, depending on interest rates, knock on wood, I'll be able to have a space that's like much better for what I want, and I'll be able to get what I want and have the collection that I want because we'll be in the next spot for some time. So and I'm very happy with my collection right now. Like I was thinking about it yesterday when I was downstairs and like just appreciating all of the animals that I do have because I feel very blessed with what I've got. So I definitely appreciate that. So,
dude, did my camera just go out?
Yep.
What is going on? Oh, can you see me?
Yep.
Why am I blue? Dude, what is going on, bro? Dude, I think this camera is actually officially shit out on me. Why am I purple?
You are purple.
What the fuck is going on, dude?
Purple people eaters.
Hold on a second. This is unbelievable. I am so good. Hold on.
I'm texting you the time just so I have it written down somewhere.
Lord have mercy, dude. Can we figure this? Okay, there we go. Why does it do that? I'm going to have to buy a new fucking camera. Okay.
We all good?
Yeah, I saw I was moving. I was like, wait a second. No, we're not. What the fuck?
You're like green now. You look like one of those animated like filters.
Dude, you can't make this shit up.
What does your regular camera look like?
Shit.
Let me see it. Switch cameras.
Not great. I look fucking like I'm in a dungeon.
Yeah.
Oh, this is unbelievable. I don't know what the fuck happened. But look, watch. When I... Oh, man. This is like one of those nights where you just like get in the shower and cry.
Yeah. We're good.
Yeah, but then it goes bad again.
I think it's okay. Like we can work through it.
I might be purple, but hey.
That's fine.
We're going to be all right.
As long as you can speak, we're good.
Yeah, as long as they can hear me. Jesus Christ. Okay. Son of a bitch, man.
I
don't know where we were.
Yeah, for anyone listening, the night continues. We had some technical difficulties, but we're back. So if Brenden turns purple, just ignore it.
Yeah, my camera decided to turn me green and then purple, and then so if you're watching this, man. It was like the Teen Titans fucking intro.
It was sick.
The woes continue, man.
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours. I guess I'm buying a new camera now. So add that to the list of things to do.
Well, so we've talked a lot about like where we're at, mental health, burnout, everything like that. We got a lot going on. We're tired. We got good episodes planned though. We're gonna have some time this weekend, so we'll be able to get back to it and have our regular scheduled programming. I do want to just quickly, and then we'll probably cut this one pretty short, but I do want to go over just quickly like things that we got going on reptile wise, because we do have some stuff going on even though we're super busy. Do you want to talk about anything you got going on right now?
I mean, besides like I believe, and I'll put that in, I think possibly, I don't know what I'm doing, but I think I have like 3 gravid cat geckos. I think. I don't know if they are or not. I'm winging this if you haven't noticed. No, I do want to, on the cat gecko thing though, real quick.
Yeah.
Again, I'm terrible with remembering names, but like I talked to someone on Instagram a week or 2 ago, and they suggested put pairs together in like an 18-18-24. Cohab them 24/7 all year, and then just let the eggs hatch in the cage. Is apparently the easiest way to do cat geckos from what they were saying. So like that's the next big project for me. And by next project, I mean it'll probably be like next spring before I can get to it. But like, yeah, man, I'm just chugging away on the cat gecko thing, trying to figure out what the hell's going on with them. And then, yeah, besides that, it's just hatching some leopard geckos. I'll have leopard geckos available later this year.
Some awesome ones, by the way. Brenden was sending us some pictures, and they're
man.
Awesome.
The ones I got so far are pretty sick. Like they're a couple are females that bred last year. 2 of them that were still pretty healthy, good weight on them and stuff, and they ovulated and went. But a lot of clown stuff this year for sure. I have like I don't know, like 10 or 12 different clowns out now. And they are pretty sick, if I do say so myself. I know I'm kind of biased because they're mine, but next year will be parent stuff that I produced last year, which will be cool. I have some killer holdbacks that are looking insane. So yeah, I have some leopard geckos available later this year if anybody's interested. Um, I feel like people kind of not get upset with me, but like I don't really price them crazy like a lot of people do, just because it's like it's fun for me. I don't do
Yeah.
this for, and I don't think my 10 lower price leopard geckos is going to tank the already kind of rocky leopard gecko market right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't try to make a ton of money. I just want to get cool stuff and people who want it. But trying to think. Other than that, monkey lizards are growing. I'm hoping they breed this year.
That female
That
looks big,
female was
man.
looking thick, dude, but now she's like back to normal almost. I don't know if it was an ovulation, possibly, or what, but she's like ravenous for food right now.
But wasn't that how the cat gecko was before it laid?
Yeah, man, she was huge, and then
big
wasn't.
and then small. Yeah.
And I sent that picture to Roy, and he was like, dude, he was like, there may be some eggs in there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with them.
Yeah.
I kind of redid their cage and took his advice of putting like planters on multiple levels, because he said his like to lay in the planters. So I put a couple more in there. So we'll see what happens on that front. If I get monkey lizards this year, dude, it'll be sick.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like, I gotta figure out baby cages,
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man. But yeah,
well, luckily we just had a great episode with Jack Thompson talking about how to set up those repti breezes. So.
I think that's the route I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I think I might do some repti breezes, because they don't lay a ton of eggs. I think like 6 or 8 normally. So repti breezes are pretty cheap, and I'll hit them up about that.
Polywall.
Yeah, the polywall, and set up those. But yeah, man, other than that, I'm just chugging away. Just the daily grind.
Yeah.
Throwing up some snakes and leopard geckos basically is all I'm doing.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. No, I'm in the same boat, just trying to grind away and take care of the animals as best I can right now. Not as best I can. I'm taking care of them as I usually would. It's just prioritizing the time. So
yeah, we're not neglecting our animals by any means.
Yeah, the animals are great.
Sounds like it, but the animals are doing fine.
Yeah, they're very well taken care of right now. I'm just being dramatic about my time. No, but I have done a couple of enclosures. 2 weekends ago, I want to say, maybe last weekend. Time is not real.
It all blurs together, man.
But I redid some enclosures. So I set up my Geoclemys hamiltoni, my Indian spotted turtles, in one of my turtle tubs that I've got. So they're basically like the size of a 40-gallon breeder. And I have them plumbed into my my sump pump, so I can do water changes and stuff really easily, and just got some simple filtration and setups going. So I set them up. They were previously in a 20 long, and I moved them to that, and they're pretty small still, so it's a pretty big enclosure for them. So did that, and then I moved my stink pot, my common musk turtle, into he was already in a 29-gallon. I'm trying to, I missed this. So I moved him up into the 20-gallon, and then decided, because he was in a 29-gallon, but it was little water, moved him up into that. And then I was like, you know what, I don't like this. So I moved him back into the 29-gallon, but it's set up way better than it was before. So it looks way better, and it's more usable and looks really good. So I was happy with that. And then I had another 29-gallon that was given to me by our good buddy, Zach Holland from Queen City Constrictors. Shout out to Zach. That I set up my trio of northern water snakes in. And they were previously in like a 24 by 18 by 18. So I'm not sure if it's necessarily bigger, but it's like longer. And it looks better for them. So Set them up in a really nice naturalistic setup there. The other thing too is that 24 by 18 by 18 Reptizoo that I had them in was getting like really hot during the day. Like it got up into the mid 90s during the day.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, which was just too hot. And it was because there's like a heat light for my North American wood turtles, which are below them underneath. And so it's just heating up. So they were just probably too hot. I mean, they were doing fine. Like there were no signs that they were having any issues. I just was keeping track of temperatures, and I was like, there's no way I can get this lower. So move them into the 29 gallon, which is better for them as far as temperature. And then I moved my black racer, which was in a 20 gallon long, into the 24 by 18 by 18, which is better temperature wise because they like to get really hot during the day. So it'll get up to like 90 degrees for him during the day. And that's just in one particular area. That's not the entire enclosure. It's like half the enclosure, and then the other half's like mid 80s. So it's still hot, but like that's what he prefers. You know, so it's better for him. Set that up really nice and naturalistic. And then I set up like a oak kind of set up in his old 20 gallon that my white oak gray rat snake from Jacob Brott's Longleaf Reptilia is going to go into that. So I finished setting that up on Sunday. And I was pretty happy with that. I haven't taken pictures of a lot of this stuff. I think I did for the 229 gallons. So I posted those on my story, but I'll definitely do some posts on my Instagram after this comes out so people can kind of see what those look like, because I'm pretty happy with them. Mostly fake plants, just because I went to IKEA the other day and got a bunch of them. If you don't know, dude, I've talked about it before.
IKEA is the spot, dude.
Yeah, IKEA has the best fake plants. They the other day when I was there, they didn't have a ton of variety. Like they didn't have as much as they used to, but they still have the ferns, and the ferns they're awesome. They're the best looking fake ferns that I've seen. So
yeah, dude, Jack put me on game with IKEA fake plants.
Yeah,
man. They're awesome. So good.
They're awesome.
They're at least my local one has a good like actual plant section too.
Yeah, I was
insane. The pothos I got, the leaves are like this big. They're fucking huge,
and it's not expensive either.
No.
Yeah. So definitely recommend IKEA.
Sure.
But speaking of IKEA, so I went to IKEA on Sunday on my way home from the wedding we went to, and I got a new storage cart for my reptile room because I sold my final rack. Now that I'm talking about this, I did a lot.
I was about to say, dude, you've been busy as hell.
So I got this like rolling storage rack that I'm super happy with. It's got like a cutting board on the top. There's one in here actually, but I can't move I'll try. Apologies for the mess. There's my there's my edamame that I'm eating, but it's right there. So there's like a cutting board on the top as well, which is super useful for like preparing food and stuff like that. It's easy to disinfect it and stuff like that. So I've got all my foods and my medicine and random supplies and stuff in there. And then I got like a kitchen, what you would put like spatulas and stuff in, like one of those cylinders. I got one of those to put all my tongs and stuff like that in there. So just some organization. So I did that. I set all that up yesterday, which allowed me to like clean up the reptile room a lot, which was really nice. And then the big project that I've been working on like crazy is my my new turtle pond that I'm building. So I'm building this 300 gallon stock tank turtle pond, which we kind of talked about with Nick last week. But my current 110 gallon stock tank that I've got my alligator snapping turtle in is going to go up above that, and it's going to be like a tiered like pond. So there's going to be the 110 gallon like back up behind it, and it's going to flow into the 300 gallon and then down into the sump tank that I bought. And then there's a waterfall filter from Aquascape that I've got that's going to go and flow into the 110, and then my wetland filter that I currently have on my 110 is going to flow into my 300. And so the two water inlet sources are going to flow into either pond, and then the 110 is going to flow into the 300, and then into all of that's going to flow from the 300 into the sump. So it's kind of a big project. I ordered 2 tons of gravel that's in my driveway currently because I have to fill.
Holy shit!
Yeah, well, 2 tons sounds like a lot.
I know it's not that much, but still.
Yeah. Well, it would have been like 80 bags from Home Depot, and each bag was like $5. So it was a lot, and I was like, I just need to order from a landscape place. So I ordered that, and it's weird because it's on like this elevation, so I had to build like a retaining wall, and then I'm filling that inside of that with gravel, and then it'll be flat so that I can do all this. Which working on elevation is really painful, and I didn't expect it to be as painful as it is, but there's a lot of leveling that had to go into that, and just a lot of digging and work and manual labor. Yeah. So spent a lot of days doing that. So yeah, been very busy, and I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like I said, I've done a lot as far as reptile projects, especially
way more than
how busy I've been. Yeah. So I'm super stoked on that. Hopefully I've got a long weekend coming up for Memorial Day weekend. Our company is awesome and gives us Friday and Monday off. So I should be able to, in between my rounds of golf that I've got planned for the weekend, I'm going to hopefully finish that up. So, yeah, there's that. And then the other thing too that I didn't mention earlier that's going on in my life is we had a major hailstorm about 4 weeks ago now, I want to say. It was the weekend that I went on the herp trip with a bunch of buddies down in South Carolina, coastal South Carolina. And I came back and the hailstorm had happened on Saturday. So we have to get a new roof. My girlfriend's car had to get fixed. There was like $7,000 worth of damages to her car, which was painful to deal with. So we were with one car for a minute. My car had a broken windshield from before the trip. So my car was in the shop at the same time. We were carless. I had to walk to the car place. It was a whole mess. Yeah. So just a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the projects I've been doing. It's cool to be able to say that I sold my final rack. So I don't own a rack anymore, which, like we've said, not anti-rack. I just don't want to keep in a rack anymore. So
yeah,
I was happy to get that out. The guy who came and picked it up actually is going to be keeping venomous in it. So, which I thought was funny. Yeah, but he was super cool. Sold it for way like half of what I bought it for, but I bought it 7 years ago. So like it did its job.
Yeah. You got your monies out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels good to have everything everything except for a couple of my grow out rat snakes and 2 of my carpet pythons are in naturalistic setups. So, and one of those carpet pythons is going to our buddy Zach, because like we were saying, when you hate working with something, it's time to move it. And that thing is mean and I'm tired of working with it. So, our buddy Zach's going to give it a good home. So
the feeling you get, or the feeling I got when I got rid of all the asshole carpets that I had in this house.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah,
it's nice being able to reach into a cage and not worrying about getting fucking bit.
Yeah. 100%.
It's 100%. It's just, and some people might call me a pussy or whatever, but dude, it's so nice. And like, I don't have to worry about Christy getting bit, which is like a bigger deal.
Yeah.
All of the snakes we have here are like super chill now. So nice. Such a nice feeling.
Yeah. It is, dude.
I still can't believe you're letting it go though. I mean, you're not. It's going to Zach, but like,
yeah, it'll still be in the group, and
like,
I'll be able to get babies.
You've been into that snake,
and I still am. That's the thing. It's like I love that snake. I just hate working with that snake.
Yeah.
It is it's the most beautiful snake I own, and having it is insane because for those who don't know, it's a citrus tiger head albino. It's the son of Eric Burke's dam. I say like his main citrus tiger female, Cookie, if you're familiar with citrus tigers at all. So it's got a lot of history behind it. It's genetically an amazing snake. I've got all the lineage on it, which was huge for me at the time. It still is huge for me. I was super stoked on that. And I love the snake. It's not it's not even like hey, I can hook it and deal with it. It's like that thing's biting the hook. It's biting the top of the enclosure. If I go near the enclosure, like it is it is on crack, man. Like it is an insane snake. And I don't know. I think it's probably just because it was probably kept in a tub for its grow out period and wasn't really handled. And, I get that, but it's just not something that I want to like work with anymore because it's terrifying. Not terrifying. That's dramatic, but like, a bite from him it would be really painful, and I just don't want to have that. So I've got one animal that I want to be concerned about biting me, and that's Kevin. Like I take extreme caution when I work with him, but I know that's what I'm getting into, and I know that I'm not handling it, and it's not a top opening enclosure that I have to get a water bowl out of. Like it's like hey, I'm opening this door and I've got my stick and I know how to manage him. This thing's like, it's coming out of the cage and there's no way, there's no way to deal with it. It's like, it's not like it just stays where it is. It's
right.
Coming out,
he's coming after you.
So it's a scary snake for lack of better terms. But.
Dude, that's why like people were so like surprised when I got rid of like the red carpets and stuff. But it was the same thing, dude. It was a actual chore to take. That's why Sriracha went to Zach.
Yeah.
I mean, she initially went on like breed loan, but I was like, dude, just keep her. Like she's gorgeous. I still love her. I miss her to death, but like, no, thank you. I'm not messing with that snake anymore, man. She was a handful and a half.
Yeah.
And like the Reds were the same way. Black Flag, for people who know, Black Flag was like the most gorgeous carpet I've ever seen ever in my life. And I just could not deal with his because he was massive and he was an asshole.
Yeah.
I just can't. I don't have time to deal with that.
Yeah. And Black Flag, for example, went to Billy and Sriracha went to Zach, and both Billy and Zach like are carpet python people, and we are carpet python people too, but like that's not the main thing we're working with. And I'm not willing to deal with that kind of like attitude from a snake, for lack of better terms, on a daily basis. I'm just not. Whereas like Zach, for people who don't know, Zach knows how to handle a carpet python. Like this man, like first of all, is not afraid of the carpets. Like he'll get bit by anything and it's fine. And
no, thank you.
And he just like that's his thing, and he loves dealing with it. And carpet pythons are my thing too. I love them. They are my favorite species of snake. Like I love them, but I just don't want to deal with that. So
I still had 2 pairs, but they're all like I can hand them to a child and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah,
which is like a bigger deal having a child coming. Like that was another thing too. Is like I don't want to have a toddler running around opening cages and a 7-foot Black Flag comes charging at her face. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I love carpets. I always will. I always have them.
Yeah.
And like you said, most of mine went to like close friends. Like you said, Zach got Sriracha. Black Flag went to Billy Hunt, who's like the homie. The Reds went to Ish, IQ Exotics, for if you know his stuff. He is like, minus Eric Hernandez, he's like the red guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know they're all taken care of, and I don't have to deal with them anymore, which is even better.
Yeah. They're in a good spot. And
yeah.
And
like you said, I'll get babies from Sriracha eventually. I'll get babies from Black Flag eventually.
Yeah.
So
and then you'll be able to raise the baby the way you want to and have an animal that's handleable and manageable and everything. So I got to work with your red, man, because she's starting to, and it's just because I don't handle her enough is the main thing. But she's perfectly fine if I take her out of the enclosure. It's just opening it. She's like, oh, food's coming. But it's just because I haven't had time to go down and like handle her. So
I still hook everything. I still don't trust them all fully.
Yeah. I
there's only
one. Everything.
There's one I don't, and that's the female Brettles. I can go in and grab her, and she's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But she's also still small.
Yeah. I don't hook any of my colubrids just because they're too small to do that with. And I just know that their bite isn't going to hurt. So, except, dude, This black eraser that I've got is insane. And he bit the shit out of me the other day, and you can't see it anymore. But for like 3 days, for reference, this is a snake that's less than 2 feet long.
Yeah.
This thing lit me up, dude. Like he was chewing on me. I was like, what is going on? But like, you know, it's a less than 2 foot snake, so it wasn't that bad. Like if the carpet python had done that, like that would have been terrible. And so something like that is like whatever, you know, like I can do that. I can get bit by an adult racer. I've been bit by an adult racer like tons of times. Like it's not great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
A large carpet python bite is nothing to be laughed at, you know, like they got big teeth. So
yeah, they do.
But yeah, and like my Nerodia as well. I've got 2 that are fine and I can handle without any issue, but I've got one who's a little crazy. But Nerodia are known to be like that as well. And again, I've been bit by very large ones and haven't had a terrible experience with that. So like, not a big deal. It's just the carpets when they're bites. So, but. But yeah, man. Well, you know, we're going up on an hour. This is longer than I expected this one to be.
I knew it was gonna, like, once we get in conversation, it just flows.
Yeah.
But no, before we end this,
yes,
I want to give a shout out. I think it's 50 Exotics on Instagram. Hooked me up with a female Oidura manilis finally.
Nice. I forgot you got that.
Possibly gravid, so I may be getting some velvet gecko eggs this year. Yeah, dude, he hooked it up, man. I traded because I got the babies from Dustin Gron ages ago, like a couple of years ago now, I think. And they both pop boy, of course. So I had like 2 dudes just hanging around here for the longest time. And for the people who don't know, Oidura are very few and far between, especially like adult thexed geckos. And if they are, they're extremely expensive. Yeah, this dude just like randomly hit me up one day. We got talking. He's like, I need a boy. And I was like, well, I need a girl. He's like, well, I have a girl. If you want to send me a boy, I'll send you this female. And I was like, done. Yeah. So I sent him out tomorrow to him. And yeah, I got this female in, man, and she is pretty. She's a little psycho, but they all are. But she's chunky, man. So I'm hoping to get some eggs out of her.
Where are they from in Oz again?
I think they're from, I don't want to get this wrong. I want to say Northern Australia somewhere.
Because when I saw yours, I love them, and
they're insane, dude. They're so pretty.
We talked with Jack about the Europlatus, and I think eventually I would love to get Lineatus one day. But Oidura are something that I feel like are easier and something I could add sooner rather than later. And you know, if you were to produce those in the near future, I'd love to get some of those.
I'll send you some.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, so they're like Queensland,
nice,
New South Wales. So I guess like the eastern coast of I guess northern too. Queensland's kind of like upper right corner ish. Yeah. So I wasn't fully wrong, but I wasn't fully right either. But yeah,
I wonder how big do they get?
So this female I have is probably, it's kind of hard to scale this. Hold on.
Because it'd be kind of sick to do those with carpets. I don't know if they're too big, they might have problems as far as the carpets eating them, but I wouldn't want to try right away. But like,
yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but they live comfortably in a 12, 18 Exoterra. If that gives you any. But this is like her on the background of an Exoterra.
Yeah.
So I mean here's my phone they're like about that long on an iPhone.
Yeah. They're definitely good size. I don't know. It might be too big.
They're not small by any means, but they're not a big gecko.
Yeah, they might be too big to coab with a carpet though.
I think they might be. Yeah. But they do well in like the snake room.
Yeah.
So I don't personally have heat on them, but the room gets to like low 80s during the day. And I've kept them like that since I've gotten them, and they do great. I know if you keep them room temp, they need like a low basking area, but they're like a semi-dry-ish species, but they do great, man.
Some of my favorites that I saw at your place for sure. They're just really cool, and I love Australian stuff. Australia's like, you know, I'm sure it is for everybody, but it's, you know, I love Australia, so
same, yeah.
It'd be cool to add some geckos from there. If I were to do any geckos,
they do great in your room.
Yeah, I think so too. And do they take cold? Well, I guess they go into New South Wales, so they could. And by cold, I mean 65. But like,
yeah, I don't know. I've never gotten them lower than like mid 70s, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, because in the winter, my room gets, depending on where in the room, it gets down to like 65.
Yeah, that I'm not sure of.
I'll have to do some research.
But they would do. I mean, I think they do good. Mine is like, as long as they're kosher with that.
Yeah,
and they're so fun to watch, like hunt crickets, dude. They're so like full of personality. They're just insane, and they got like the big bug eyes, and they're just fucking cute as hell.
Yeah, I'm sure if they're in New South Wales, I'm sure they can take 65, no problem.
Yeah, I'm sure they can.
Yeah,
for sure.
New South Wales definitely gets cold, so
yeah. They're fun geckos, man. They're some of my favorites.
Yeah, they're cool, man. Really
I'm stoked to finally have a pair. I want to get like, because there's a few different Oidura out there in the hobby, but they're just hard to find. They're not easy to come across, so I'd like to get them.
Yeah, you need to get those Australian chameleon geckos is what you need to get.
Dude, if I had, you know, $1,800, $1,300. There was one for sale in Morph Market I saw for like $300 or $400, but I had a kink tail, and I was like, those are high on the list though.
Yeah, those will be cool.
I think those might, depending on leopard gecko sales this year, those might be my splurge next year. Get a couple, because I got a couple contacts that breed them pretty regularly. So they're just pricey bastards, dude. For a little gecko, they're expensive.
Yeah, you gotta pay the delayed smuggling fee. So
yeah.
Just kidding. I don't know where they came from. I'm not saying that they were smuggled. It's just anything from Australia is probably smuggled at one point. So
yeah, probably, but it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm trying to think. There's something else. Oh, I'm looking at them. I have these old boaphile cages.
Yeah,
that I had the snakes in. They're like 2x2 by 12 tall, I think. Like the front opening. I'd show, but I don't want to move my camera and turn purple again.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do 3 naturalistic leopard gecko setups.
You definitely should.
You definitely should. That's what I'm gonna do.
I think it's gonna be dangerous for you though, because as soon as you put leopard geckos in naturalistic setups, I think you're gonna be like, everything needs to be in that. Because they're gonna be cool.
I have a dozen adults, so I could do that.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy. I have a dozen cat geckos and naturalistic setups, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try these. I'm gonna try these 3 out. I'm gonna do 3 males, just because I don't want to have to go in there and dig for eggs.
Yeah.
So I have 3 males picked out that I'm gonna put in them. I just have to figure out heat for them because they're only 12 inches tall, and I'd like to put a basking bulb in them, but I only need it like 10 degrees warmer than the room, like 90, 91, 92-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So I need like a very low wattage mini halogen.
Yeah.
I just got to find one that'll work.
I'm using one on my Nerodia cage that I can send you a link for.
Okay, that works.
It's like a 25 watt one.
I want to do UVB also, but I have to figure out how to mount it and all that stuff. But
that's easy. That part's easy.
Yeah?
Yeah. All my UVB is mounted inside the enclosure.
See, all of my stuff that has UVB is on top of a screen cage. So it's like a screen top cage.
Yeah. All mine's mounted. They come with
they do come with those clips, right?
Yeah. You just screw them in and then push them up into it.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try my hand at a desert type
That's gonna be sick.
setup. I know we mentioned him already, but Billy Hunt sent me. He's getting into geckos now, which I fucking love. I've been like poking and prodding him for like a year, like, yo, you need geckos. Yo, you need geckos. So he finally got into geckos, and he's like sending me some like desert plants and stuff to try out. I think it's called donkey ear something or another. Hold on, I gotta show this because it looks cool.
I'm definitely gonna, and we've been saying this for a minute, but we're definitely gonna have somebody who does arid type setups on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna look this up real quick, just so I can show the people. I think it gets pretty big, though, but I feel like a lot of the plants we use in the hobby get pretty big. So I feel like if you just kind of keep it, am I sharing? I can't tell.
Yeah. You are. I just gotta add it.
Okay, so these are.
Oh yeah,
the donkey ears. Oh shit! I didn't want to do that. Yeah, so I feel like as long as you keep them trimmed back,
yeah,
they should stay relatively this size. I hope.
Yeah,
but I think that'd be kind of cool to try out and just see how they do.
Yeah,
because they look pretty cool. I'm not a big. I'm pretty bad at succulents, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't keep them alive, which is crazy because everybody says, "Oh, they're so easy." Not in this house.
Yeah. Well, I think they need a lot of light is the problem.
Yeah, so I figure if I put them close to like a pretty bright basking light,
yeah,
they should do okay. And then I want to try like, I wish these cages were taller because I do like snake plant and stuff, but
yeah, I bet that bonsai soil that Nick was telling us about last week.
I'm gonna hit him up on that because I'm gonna try that out. And then I know Bubba's Geckos has some naturalistic leopard gecko setups and some vision cages, and he uses a mix that he likes a lot too. So I'm gonna see. It's like the excavator clay and topsoil or something, sand maybe. But it looks good too. So
yeah,
that's I think that was all I had. I just wanted to remember those two things.
Yeah, no, that was good, man. That was good.
Yeah.
For everyone listening, this wasn't a usual episode, so there wasn't much talk of DIY or anything like that. Apologies there. I feel like this was still a good show and something that we wanted to put out to kind of talk through what we're going through. And we didn't want to do the other episode we had planned tonight. We wanted to make sure that we put the time and effort that deserves into it. So that'll be the next episode that comes out. Mm-hmm. And then we're working on some guests to get on after that. So appreciate you guys bearing with us. Appreciate everyone watching and listening and, letting us know about the show. We've been getting a ton of good feedback and just really, really appreciate it. Anytime we get a message from anybody about the show, we read it. It means a lot to us. So definitely keep showing the support. We love it. And you guys are one of the reasons that we keep doing this. The other part being that we love it. So
yeah, it's fun, man.
Yeah, we've been very pleased with this.
I gotta shout out my grandpa real quick. I talked to him over the weekend. He came up to me. We were at my aunt's for like dinner or whatever. He came up to me. He's like, I like that you guys show things on your podcast now, so I can just sit and watch, and I know what you're talking about. I was like, that's awesome. Man. He watched our last episode with Nick, and he really enjoyed it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Shout out to Brendan's grandpa.
Yeah, man. Shout out old Jimbo. He loves the podcast. He's a big supporter, man. He watches every episode.
Is he the one who gave you the car, by the way?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you guys have seen Brendan's new car, but that thing is fucking sick.
It's badass, man. I wish I had a picture to show, but I don't have a picture on the computer to show it.
I think you've posted on your story, though, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe it's just Snapchat. I've seen it.
I'll if I remember when this comes out, I'll post a picture on my story.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope, man. I'm freaking stoked on it.
Yeah. If you
That's
guys
another
are
thing
into
that's taken up
cars,
all my time. Like I'm currently rewiring this whole freaking car.
yeah. You've been crushing it. But if you guys are into cars, you should definitely message Brenden because this new thing that he got, what is it? Can you tell me what it is?
Okay, so it's a 57 Ford Fairlane. It's like it was like his dream car as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like it was like one of those things, like the first time he saw it, he's like, I have to own one of those. And he's owned a few of them throughout his life, but this one started out as like a pile of rust and shit in his driveway. And then it took him like 7 years to build this thing. And it's just badass, man. I'm so stoked to even have it. It still doesn't like quite feel real yet, you know? But yeah, man, I'm stoked to enjoy that this summer and cruise around in it.
And everyone listening, you need to bug Brenden to see a picture of this thing because it is clean. It is like beautiful. Nice. That thing is like they don't make cars painted the way that this thing is painted anymore. Like this thing
and
is,
he did it all himself too.
That's crazy.
Like he built the center console himself. He painted it himself. Like it's legit.
It's
for people who don't know, by the way, I'm a car nut also. Like I've been into cars my entire life, so I'm always down to talk cars, man.
Yeah.
Always.
So definitely bug Brenden on that because you need to see it if you have not seen it.
It's dope. It's gonna be even better when I'm done with it, man. I'm hoping to have it like finished up this week, and then I'm getting it detailed next weekend, and then it'll be ready to like cruise around in. So
that's awesome. You're not putting a CPU in it, right? Or is it like a computer?
It's literally just no. There's no computers in those cars.
I didn't think so. I didn't know you were rewiring it. I didn't know if you were like putting in a computer or something.
It's like literally every wire in that car has been tore out, and I put in a whole new harness and stuff in it.
Okay. Well, if there's no computer, that's probably not as bad as if there was.
I mean, it's not fun. I do enjoy wiring, but it's very tedious work.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no. In 57, dude, they didn't have seatbelts. They didn't have no computers. Those are the best ones to work on, man. They're just 3 or 4 wires, and you're fucking good to roll.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing's sick. So
yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Stoked on it.
All right, y'all. We're gonna call it on that. Tune in next week for the next installment of the Naturalistic series. Where we are, although it may not seem like it, we are very excited for that episode, and that's the reason that we decided to postpone it because it's gonna be really good. And it's something that we're both really passionate about. So
we're talking lighting. And what else? Ventilation, lighting,
plants.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk backgrounds in the series because we've already covered that pretty extensively, I feel like. And I feel like we need to have a guest on to do any further than what we've already talked about.
For sure. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we'll be back with that one next week, and then we'll have some guests on. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Instagram. And then send us a message. Tell us what you want to see on the show. Give us any feedback. Tell us if we suck. Everything. So, but with that, we appreciate you guys, and good night.